Hey, greetings. This is New York Dan, and I'm here with Leslie. We're doing a review today of the new Wonka movie that's in the theater with Timothee Chalamet. We just went to see it. When was that? Last night. We
Yeah,
were
last
just at
night.
the theater. It's fresh in our minds. Here's the thing. My take on it, if you have like little kids, they want to go see this magical movie, like if they're into the first Wonka, first Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Um, this movie is a little dark, in my opinion. It was much darker than I thought it would be. It's um, a lot of the movie is sad. It's not really upbeat.
Well, towards the end, it's a
It
little
gets
sad.
they make it a little bit of a happy ending, but
Yeah.
the whole thing, most of the movie, you're going to be just sad as you're watching it. Um, the original with Gene Wilder is my favorite. I'm a big fan of that movie. Uh, Johnny Depp remade it around year 2000, and his version is interesting.
It's respectable.
He has a totally different. The thing is, Johnny Depp's version is like he's not trying to copy the original movie. He's trying to do his take on it, a different style, the one that they produced, um, more modernistic Wonka version of Wonka. This thing is supposed to be kind of a throwback to when Willy Wonka was younger.
But also with a little bit of a modern take with like all the dance scenes,
hmm
all the graphics.
It has, I give them credit, there's a lot of computer graphics in this
Yeah.
movie that are pretty cool. It takes place in kind of a vintage setting. There's a vintage trolley car that goes by in one of the scenes. Vintage cars, vintage ships.
In France.
It's somewhat, yeah,
Yeah.
European type of setting to it. Um, but well, they can do that now with CGI, a lot of computer graphics to enhance the movie experience. However, some of the stuff creates, in my opinion, it creates a hyperactive kind of too fast of motion, like with different things going on at the same time. I kind of feel like they get carried away with CGI and it detracts from the actual movie. My main complaint though is the darkness of it. Like, do you want to go to Wonka and feel like you're going to need a box of tissues the whole time? Little kids might be really upset watching this. My other take on it, my beef that I have with who they picked to play Wonka, I feel this guy Timothee Chalamet,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like him from the get go because I had seen him in another movie called Dune.
Well, that movie isn't
What'd you
that
think of
good.
that?
I didn't think
It
that movie
wasn't.
was that good.
It wasn't a good movie.
But Timothy Chalamet, I thought it was odd that they picked him,
Mm.
but not for nothing. After we saw the movie, I really liked it, and I see why they made him that character. I think he's very versatile, and his singing isn't the best, but he has the dance moves. He has the wonky hair.
He's wonky. I'll give him that much.
But I
But
thought he was respectable.
he's wonky, but he's not Wonka.
I
That's the
think,
problem.
I think those were some very big shoes to fill,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a decent job.
Well, he, I mean, he, he he's okay with the script. Of course, he knows the lines or whatever they feed him to rehearse. But the problem is he doesn't really have the charisma that a Willy Wonka character should have. He seems like
He did a little bit. I think in the scenes with like the giraffes, how magical they make it. I like the
mm,
way that they made it very magical. you actually think it's like, I don't know, something like Harry Potter or something that's just like, wow, that looks like real magic, and then he's doing stuff behind the scenes. And they show the behind the scenes of people doing different moves or different things to make things happen.
They do have
Yeah.
a lot of cool graphics and scenery in it, but the Chalamet character, him playing Wonka, what he acts is the charisma of Willy Wonka, and Willy Wonka is very confident. If you watch the original movie from 1971 with Gene Wilder, he's a very confident guy. He is like a master of this um, candy making and the factory, and he's in charge of the Oompa Loompas as well. This guy is very. He doesn't feel confident. He feels very shaky playing this part.
I
They
don't think so. I don't think he
Well,
feels
this is
shaky.
my take on it.
Yeah.
The guy also, the thing is, he doesn't look like anything like the original Willy Wonka.
He's better looking. He's a good
No,
he's a
in
good
my
looking guy.
opinion, Gene Wilder is much better looking than Chalamet. This guy doesn't look like Wonka. He doesn't have blonde hair. He doesn't. His face is totally different. He's not, in my opinion, he's not a character that looks like Willy Wonka looked like.
I think he has a better voice. He doesn't
Mm,
have the amazing voice.
he kind of,
The original Wonka, I'm saying, he has
yeah.
a better voice. He has the good like mystery or whatnot in his eyes. Um, and you see the
This
magical
guy,
aspect of it and the quirkiness. But
Chalamet,
yeah,
kind of reminds me more of Ben Stiller. If you've seen movies with him in it, he's kind of like a younger Ben Stiller.
yeah,
But I feel like it's not the right match for Wonka. I mean, when Johnny Depp played Wonka, he was doing it a different style movie. He wasn't trying to be the same Wonka. It was a totally different remake. But this thing is supposedly, the story is it's a younger Willy Wonka when he was getting starting off in the candy industry or whatnot. And a lot of it is way too, I don't like the way that it flows, and there's stuff that's totally inconsistent.
I thought it had a lot of heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I liked. I liked
Well,
the ending. I liked that they at least give you a happy
yeah,
ending.
but I'm gonna tell you right
Yeah.
now, I'm not gonna give away the whole movie
Yeah.
and stuff, but at the end of the movie, in a few seconds, this guy magic, it's too far fetched. All of a sudden, they do like a musical number, and the guy magically creates a whole chocolate factory. Meanwhile, during the whole movie, he was struggling to try to sell chocolates, and he couldn't even get like his own store going. And then it's totally inconsistent and doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's because he didn't have a nickel to his
No,
name.
but it had nothing to do with money. He
Yeah.
made this. It's just like nonsense the way it flows. It doesn't make sense. Then the other thing is the Oompa Loompa is superior to Wonka, and he's bowing down to this Oompa Loompa, and
Not
is
really.
trying to, yeah, but that's totally
The Oompa Loompa comes
inconsistent.
and takes stuff, which is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Just the relationship of the Oompa Loompas. But
Yeah, but
towards the end, you see how they become what they
if you
now are, I guess you could say.
if you watch the original
With the
Wonka,
newer Wonka.
Wonka said
I mean, yeah.
he rescued the Oompa Loompas and brought them to live at his factory.
Because they
So
were eaten by, I don't know what.
they
It
were
was
being eaten by other animals and stuff on
some
some
weird
kind of
names,
island they
yeah.
lived. So it's totally inconsistent the way that they wrote this thing or put it together. And the
The,
prop,
the storyline, I think, was pretty believable with his mom and,
yeah.
with Noodle.
Well, it's an interesting
It shows
take
why
on
he
it.
has, because in the original, you don't see why he's affected by the chocolate so much, why he loves it, why. At least this gives you a background as to a nugget as why he's so, I guess you could say, why it's such a focus for him. And this one, he can't even read. You know, all he's worked on is just making chocolates all his life.
Yeah,
You know?
but I don't. That part was definitely not consistent because in the original Willy Wonka movie, he has a contract with all kinds of fine print,
Yep.
and the guy's like a genius, and he reads. He has a desk that he works at. He's this is totally inconsistent. That Wonka wouldn't even know how to read. That's rubbish, in my opinion. That's total rubbish. It's not that they didn't portray Wonka as the real Wonka.
It shows him as like a kid, I guess you could say, like a kid who can't read, a kid
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't have his mom, a kid who didn't go to
Yeah,
school, a kid who doesn't know. Like in the beginning of the movie, all the money he has, he loses in like a second.
he's not street.
Yeah.
He's not street smart at all. He's a dummy. The way in the beginning of the movie, it's totally ridiculous. That's not Wonka. That's not how he is. The whole thing, it's a letdown. I'm telling you. If you have little kids, especially, I wouldn't even bring them to see this movie.
I personally liked it. But I
It's
think it's because you like the old one
I'm
and
a big fan.
you
Yeah.
treasure the old one
If I
so
didn't
much.
communicate this before, I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of the original one.
Yeah.
The original movie. I'm a big fan of Gene Wilder. And I was looking forward to this remake because I'm such a fan of the movie, and I was expecting, maybe I was expecting too much, but uh, what I was expecting was not, I was sold something that I wasn't signed up for. There should have been like some kind of disclaimer, because you pay for the ticket and then you go and it's something totally different than what you're expecting. That's why I wanted to do this review,
But I
to
liked it.
tell people what's
All
going
in
on.
all, I would watch it. I would recommend somebody go see the movie. I think it's a modern old day take, modern in the sense of all the graphics, the dancing, the singing, but like old fashioned in the sense of like the era it takes place in. Um but I liked it all in all. It's a musical.
Yeah,
The only thing is, I find it a tad sad, but all in
it,
all, I guess that makes you want him to win, want him to become who he
yeah.
is, or the token Wonka.
Aside from the gripes I got with them casting this guy Chalamet in it, aside from that, the movie is so dark, and a lot of the topic in it is just like, it's not really appropriate. This is supposed to be an
Happy.
uplifting film. That a lot of the stuff is pretty gruesome throughout the movie. I mean, it's not even. This isn't even. I mean, in the original Wonka movie, it doesn't deal with somebody trying to kill Wonka. They're trying to enslave him. I mean, it's gruesome stuff. It's not really what kids. It's not really for kids. It's got the whole thing has dark undertones.
It's like the mafia coming to
Yeah,
kill.
yeah. There's
They almost make it like the
too much.
mafia
Yeah,
is
it's
come and the
it's
mafia and the
very dark.
police.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
merchants that are selling the chocolate, they're corrupt, and they have policemen that are crooked. It puts the police in a bad light. It puts a lot of things, like I'm telling you, this is full of dark undertones or overtones. What do you say with the? How do you say that? You know what I'm talking about. Throughout the film,
I would say
I mean,
undertones, yeah.
it's just,
I
I don't
like the
know,
magic.
guys.
I like
I
the
don't
magic of
know.
it though. The way
Yeah,
with the giraffe,
and
the way that they fly.
the
He seems a little bit like Mary Poppins.
a little bit.
A hare, Like
The only
Mary
thing,
Poppins.
then the other thing is they have Chalamet doing like, it's kind of like parts of it are kind of like a musical. Well, here's the added bonus for you. Not only does the guy not look like the original Wonka or act like him, when it comes to the singing numbers, the guy, his singing is very subpar. I mean,
I just think it's mediocre.
it's no good. It's
Yeah.
no good. I mean, you want something that's really good. You watching this movie. This is Wonka. You want to be blown away. It
I think he has
the
charisma though. Charisma. He does have charisma.
maybe for some other kind of character, but for Wonka,
I think
I don't know.
I liked him. I think Johnny Depp also played a really
Yeah,
respectable role. I liked uh, Chalamet's
I
charisma more, and Johnny
if there
Depp's
was any
respectable.
charisma,
Johnny Depp's respectable.
I like the John. I'm gonna say that I like the Johnny Depp version of Wonka better than this new version. That's how far I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna hope that they remake this movie again
We don't want
in the
remakes, Dan.
future. Would do it more like the original Wonka.
I think they should have cast like the guy who did Elf. What's his name? Him.
Farrell,
Yeah, Will
Will
Ferrell.
Ferrell.
Something like that, but then I also think Will Ferrell's getting older.
Mm.
But like maybe somebody like who's the guy from what is it? Will Ferrell, he's also in that movie with where they're in the newsroom or whatnot.
Oh,
What is it?
Anchorman.
Anchorman. There's a guy in there, Steve Carell.
Oh yeah,
Steve
that guy.
Carell would
Yeah,
have been
yeah,
a
he might
really
be a
good
good Wonka.
Wonka.
You might be
Yeah,
onto something there.
yeah,
That might be a better character to do, a better actor for the pick.
yeah.
Very well might be.
Somebody who's like a
I mean, you
comedian.
gotta have,
He has
yeah,
to have some comedic.
something's missing from
Yeah,
this Wonka movie.
yeah.
I'm telling you guys.
Somebody from like
Um,
Ghostbusters or something. There's comedians there. Yeah.
by the way, because I'm such a hardcore Wonka fan, okay, I'm a big fan of the original Willy Wonka movie. And we watched the original too. After
Yeah.
we saw this, we were watching the original one. Um, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. If you subscribe to my channel, and she doesn't know about this yet, if you if you subscribe to my channel by the end of January, because I got a few things coming. I'm not gonna. I gotta get this together. I want to like do a good job on this. By the end of January, I'm going to dress up as Wonka, and I'm gonna sing the song "Pure Imagination"
Oh man.
on this channel. I'm gonna do that. That's my challenge,
Okay.
and I'll see if I can do a better job of it. So subscribe to the channel, and you're going to be notified when I finally get that out the end of January. You'll be able to watch that. And I'm going to do some kind of a really good tribute to the original Wonka movie. So,
This should be nice to
yeah,
see.
yeah. So, give our review if you can. Hit the thumbs up button that's down here. And I might put a link in here as well to another video on the channel. There was something I wanted to link this to. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, I know what it was. My casino video. I did some of the Wonka slot game.
Ah,
I
I was
might,
there. Yeah.
yeah, I might put that. I might link that down here. Um, so yeah, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.